Fala galera, Rafa HC aqui, a gente vai jogar The Cub, jogo novo aí da galera que fez Golf Club Wasteland. Na verdade mudou o nome agora, acho que é Golf Nostalgia, sei lá, velho. Mas foi um joguinho bem legal, eu zerei aquele jogo no Nintendo Switch. E agora eu vou jogar aqui o jogo novo dos caras, velho, que meio que se passa no mesmo universo, porque a gente vê esse maluquinho aqui no Golf Club, mas, tipo, o gameplay daqui é totalmente diferente, é meio que um jogo estilo Limbo e tal, velho. Parece bem legal. O jogo tá em português, maneiro. Então vamos lá. Antes de eu dar play, não esquece de se inscrever no canal. Se não for inscrito, dá um like no vídeo, ajuda demais. Também tem aí o canal da Twitch. Segue a gente por lá pra não perder nenhuma live. E vambora, velho. Novo jogo. Tudo bem. Estamos aqui. Aqui bonitinho, legal. Tá, dá pra dar pulo duplo. Ele se agarra. Ah, precisando o quê? Pra rolar? Não entendi. Tá, dá uma rolada. Aqui a gente empurra. Tá, ele dá salto triplo, bicho. Vai brincando. Caralho, mano. É o cara do golfe, velho. Tá. Radio Nostalgia. Vambora. Esse lobinho.
The days were hot. Fish died in the lake, plants yellowed, birds stopped singing. There was thunder, but no rain. You call this period the Great Ecological Catastrophe. I heard my mother's heartbeat as she carried me to Alphaville. People chased us. I remember her driving and bison running by. Then we reached the flooded city with refugees in rubber boats. Suddenly, I couldn't find Mama. I was scared and alone. I'll never know whether she died or abandoned me. I only remember the rockets leaving for Mars. That night, the fighting started. I ran deep into the forest. A she-wolf found me and raised me with her cubs. People who didn't make it into the rockets were dying in combat and from the mutating environment. But we, the orphans and animals, didn't fight. Instead, together we adapted to nature that grew out of the rubble. Many moons passed, and then one day, some humans returned. They called themselves Marcians. They flew around, dressed in yellow. They went hunting and played golf. I would steal their golf balls for fun. It really upset them. Then one day, I found a dead Martian. I took off his helmet and put it on. There was music playing in it. After years of only speaking wolf, I listened to the Martian radio and learned human language again. After the group left, one full moon later, I was chasing a tasty bug when another spaceship with new Martians arrived. It soon became clear they were trouble.
Tá, então citaram aí a época que ele ficava pegando as bolinhas do jogador de golfe. Filho de ninguém. Ele foi criado por Lobo.
The show for those who miss a morning run in the park, sloping minestrone soup, sailing with the wind in their hair, singing in unison with thousands of people at a music concert, or smelling the coming rain. In other words, a show for the long lost days of earth.
Vamos lá, menino lobo. Vou pegar esse inseto, mano. Coisa pra cá. Tem morto. Então, pra quem não jogou o outro é isso, velho. Ele fica escutando as músicas aqui. As fases são baseadas nas músicas, é bem legalzinho. Alphaville. Nada pra cá não. Oh, sério que não tem nada? Parecia muito que tinha alguma coisa ali. Tá, temos um bicho. Ai, caí de cara. Baixa. Eita porra. Ah, corre. Tá, tudo tranquilo, mais ou menos. Aquilo ali, mano. Uma roupa. Pano. Isso. Arrotos. Isso. Tá. Beleza. Quer achar os jornais e as frutas, né? Um de bomba. Eita porra. Que isso? Ai, calma. Tomei um capote, mano. Pera, era isso que eu tinha que fazer? Acho que era então. É, eu não morri. Eita, cobra, mano. Arrotei na cara da cobra, ela me mata?
Starting off the show with Son of No One, a song I'm fairly certain resonates with many of us orphans of.
Tá. Deslizou bonito.
In the stuffy depths of space. Speaking of stuffy air, please don't attempt to open portal windows to let some fresh air in. It's unbelievable that we have to mention this, but we're living in pressurized domes, people. Bringing recycled air is
Outra
just
samba.
normal. In totally unrelated news, the memorial of Baroness von Bullenshit will be held in private, and the family asks gold diggers and paparazzi to respectfully stay away from the funeral ceremony being held in the Section C cafeteria on Deck 3 at 7 p.m. Dome time. Alright,
Caralho.
with the show. Go.
Ai. Oh, meu Deus. Boa. Pode parar pra pensar não, velho. Tem que ir que nem louco. Errei. Subiu. Que isso? Uma mensagem, mano. Caí numa emboscada dos insurgentes, conseguiu recuar e reagrupar. 3 mortos em ação, 2 desaparecidos, não há água potável nas regiões controladas pelos insurgentes. Voltamos para Alphaville a tempo da missão Esperança. É, eu acho que ele morreu. Barará. Olha os lobos. Carai. Tranquilo. A pular na d'água não dá. Caralho, jacarezão, mano. Cara, que música incrível, tá? Tá, entramos pelo cano. Bem, mais um jornal. O CEO da Orinoco, Jeff Bezos, disse que fornecimento de entrega para a Alphaville foi interrompido por insurgentes. Jeff Bezos é bom. Simbiose anuncia que sua fórmula OGM acabará com a fome mundial. Tá. Tá porra. Morri. Tá. Tudo bem. E agora, velho? Ah, dá pra baixar.
Ah, a little toddler pop there taking us back to the days of late-stage capitalism at its finest. Child labor never sounded so sweet. On that note, it's time for another story, a look back at life on open road, and a look forward to the long road.
The good old days. Original sources, authentic tales, hope, inspiration, radiant nostalgia from Mars.
Crying while riding a Harley Davidson is the actual meaning of life. I'm serious. I tried to recreate that feeling here on Mars. So I took a Tesla City Delivery EDA for a spin on the Planitia Plain, but it's like driving a janky VR simulation. It made me miss riding my motorcycle, my Jolene, even more. At 35, for 30 days in the blistering heat of July, I took a 4,600 mile trip across America on a motorbike. We set off from California, we zigzagged up and down the country and covered 18 states all the way up to New York City, where I was to take over my father's company. During the trip, the biggest surprise for me was how much of my thinking was predictable. Even banal, I just focused on staying alive at 70 miles an hour on 2 wheels with crazy winds buffeting me in all directions. So while my mind was this constant barrage of compulsive thoughts, those thoughts were generally practical. Like, how do I get to that destination before dark? Am I drinking enough water? Am I hydrating? The bigger picture stuff of why am I doing this and what is life about anyway didn't come until later. We started the trip at the peak of California's infamous orange heat wave, and we rode it for 5 days in temperatures you wouldn't believe. Some mornings I'd have sweat dripping from my elbow before we even set off. My eyes hurt from the sun. Sometimes I'd wake up so sore I could barely move. My inner thighs had engine burn. And even though those closest to me actually didn't think I'd make it, I learned that I could physically overcome much more than I thought. So after that rite of passage, I knew I could take over the company. Instead of being an entitled little brat whose father would pay for her theatre career, I turned the
Jungle Book.
company into a $1 trillion business. And now, here I am with my family on Mars, among the last representatives of humanity in the universe. But aside from this high-minded idealism, life has no meaning. Because of these damn EVA suits, there's no wind on the highway here. No open-air solitude that makes you feel one with the world like back on Earth. On Mars, even if you manage to get outside, you're still trapped in a bubble of your own stale air. No matter where you go, isolation clings to you. Unlike the open road, it's an experience of void, not wholeness. There's no dancing asphalt in the heat, and no neon-lit diners, and 2 a.m. omelettes with green bell peppers and yellow cheddar with a side of burnt hash browns.
Caralho.
Greasy bacon and black coffee. Instead, there's this barren rock and strictly monitored oxygen levels in sterile domes. We live in bubbles with no
Ai!
faults.
Morri.
I admire how far we've come and how resilient we are, but I wonder,
Carai.
maybe we're just fooling ourselves. Just like during my epic ride, we've mostly figured out the banal questions about water and food and sanitation, and now the greater questions are looming. What are we really doing here? What is our future? And what will the meaning of life be for my kids? At any rate, the point is, I miss my job. That's all. Thanks for listening.
Ai, meu Deus.
Thank you for taking us on that ride with you, Brianna. Your story is an inspiration for all and reminds us to face our difficulties head on and to value the small things in life, even out here on Mars. Motorcycles, grease,
Vai.
wind in the hair. that bit in
Não,
the
era pra se abaixar. Eu me abaixei, velho. Ah, para, jogo. Ah, não voltou tudo, velho. Quando começa a falação desse jogo aí é meio chato, né? Eu tiro as músicas. Corre, menino lobo. Tá, baixou. Tô tranquilo. Cara, eu joguei bem legalzinho, velho. Eu vou encerrar por aqui, a gente já viu bastante. Espero que vocês tenham curtido. Não esquece de se inscrever, dar o like. A gente vê no próximo vídeo de uma nova live. Valeu!